Howdy, everybody! It's another weekly review. You're welcome. Anyway, we're gonna go over the camera work for this week. Got a couple of things to take a look at. Let's open up my notes here. All right, so section A. Oh, before I start, as always, none of this is meant to be helpful. None of this is meant to be, no, all of this is meant to be helpful. None of this is meant to be hurtful. And we're just trying to get better together. So take everything that I say as an encouragement to do better or just plain encouragement. So here we go. Section A, let's start at 825. Open up multicam here. So one thing here, that this is the first thing I noticed when I was editing earlier today. The slider cam feels really, really slow. Like sliding really slow from one to the other. So let's take a look right here. And it's just kind of crawling along. And we probably want it a little bit faster. I'm guessing it got set to the default because I think I remember the settings being turned off and having to restart them. So it's probably sitting at 30%, which is default. We probably want it at least at 60. So yeah. Moving on. 917. Camera. Oh yeah. Okay. So if you look right here on camera 4, we've been on Jaden from the beginning. So 8 minutes and 1 second. And we switch from him at 10 minutes and 10 seconds. So that is 2 minutes. And this song is about 4 minutes altogether. So half the song, it was on Jaden. And we probably want more variety than that. This shot also, if I had my way, I would... Let's turn off the lyrics here. Maybe step to my right and get a little bit more of him filling the frame. And it'd be awesome if that just stopped doing that. And that. Stop it. If you're gonna, I've talked about doing, giving a haircut, cutting off part of the head. And this is fine, but one thing we definitely need to do if we're going to do that, we need to zoom in more if we're going to do that. The point of doing the haircut frame is to get a better perspective of what's happening up close. So I would actually, if we could, get down lower and shoot at an upward angle so we can get more of that, and then we would zoom in a little bit more to something a little bit like that. And this shot kind of just stays static. It moves a little bit. Yeah, this camera, particularly on section A, was very, very shaky. And I'm wondering if the lens got, if the non-stabilized lens got put on there. If that's the case, we can just fix that next time. But when it's all shaky and I only have a shot that I can't really use, that for half the song, that means that I get to use one of these three up here instead, and that just makes for a lesser good product. So, all right. 1151. No, oh yeah, 1151. All right, so yeah, camera 1 is also on the worship leader, and that's great. That's a really really good shot. That said, camera 1 is a floating camera, not a worship leader camera, so we'd be better off trying to get something else, because why is that doing that? Oh, okay, never mind. It's because it's stuck there. That gives me less use. It's particularly in this case because the camera 4 is on an unstabilized lens, so I can't really use anything there. So right now I have two things I can use. I can use the wide shot and I can use the worship leader shot, because there's two of them. So make sure when you're on a floating camera, unless the worship leader is the only one doing anything, you should be on something else. On camera 4, yeah. So looks like we went from Jaden to a little bit of David, and that's pretty good on David. But then we go over to Morgan, and we just leave it on her for the rest of the song. And I understand also that it's a small band and there's not a ton going on. We should have maybe tightened the band up a little bit more, and we're working on ways to kind of reconfigure how everything looks and feels, and that'll help part of it. But yeah, the shot down here of Morgan, right here in particular, down here, we can give a haircut, but we need to zoom in more if we're going to do that. So if we were going to give her a haircut, we would need to zoom in probably a little bit more. That's probably too much. A little bit more, just to get facial expressions. And maybe like that. And then maybe move her over to this third a little bit more, because it feels like there's a ton of looking room. The only thing that it feels a little bit empty and a little bit negative spacey, but it's not, because we got that plant in there. But still, if we want her in that third, solidly in that third. And right here, if she was, let's just hit the reset button. This feels it feels like she's almost to that third. And then we have that negative space there that makes it feel a little bit more negative spacey. So if we were to zoom in a little bit more, and even that would be great. There's a lot of negative space is gone. We still have that. We have that filling in, Jeremiah in the background filling that in. But yeah, when we do the haircut, we want to zoom in, and we don't want to stay there forever. That is one of those things where you catch a good moment where, like a more intimate moment is what we're looking for. So close up, kind of one of those softer moments in the song is kind of what we're looking for if we're going to do the haircut. Okay. 12:07. Yes, this is one thing that I definitely wanted to make sure I pointed out. Whoever was on the worship leader camera, great job capturing more than just one or two angles. If I remember correctly, there were like at least 3 angles on each song, which is kind of what we want. Even just 2 angles is helpful. Yeah, this one got 3. We got 3 angles. This angle is a little bit negative spacey, and I wish he was filling the frame just a little bit more. So maybe like this, and then step to your right a little bit, and you can probably get I think that's Shonda in the frame, kind of filling it out a little bit more, bringing the frame kind of wall over to here, and then you can get her shoulder in with Jeremiah there, and then kind of a closer shot. But either way, Worship Leader Cam's doing a great job this week. I noticed that through the entirety of editing this week. Oh, I should. Oh, nope. Okay. 13 minutes. No, 12:21. 12:21. Oh yeah, we just went over that. 13 minutes. 13 minutes. All right, so 2 things to look at here at 13 minutes. Right here, this main shot of Morgan here probably has too much negative space. So there's just all that blank space there. So what would probably be best would be to take a step to the right and put her in this third over here. If I had room to push in without it going, getting blurry, I would move her over probably right there maybe, and then use this person as a barrier, because right now Jaden is filling in. Part of one of the things that would make that an issue is the fact that she's looking this way right now. And so her mic is at a weird spot, so it creates kind of the illusion that she should be looking this way over here, but she's actually looking over this way. She's probably looking at the monitor up over this way. And yeah, so it feels a little tensiony. The best thing to do probably would be to step to your right, or go to your right a little bit, and then try to get Jaden in the background, and then Morgan over here in this right here. I mean, the main issue is that we just have all that negative space there, and that feels it just feels negative spacey. I mean, there's not a whole lot I can say about that. Try to find something to fill it in. If we can't, we can't. That's, like I said, we're working on doing some changes to the background. Same here with Jaden here. Again, we're back on the haircut thing, and if we're gonna do that again, like I don't want to be a dead horse, but we would maybe want to try to get lower, shoot upward, and if we're gonna do a haircut, zoom in a little bit more. 14. This would be a great shot of Jaden if it wasn't shaky. Right here. And again, maybe try to get down a little lower and shoot upward a little bit to kind of use that haircut and get a little bit more zoomed in there. Because it'd be nice if we could get something A little closer to that. And then maybe, yeah, maybe something like that. Just to fill it in a little bit more. We obviously don't want to get uber close so all we see is their face. We want to see what's happening. But, yeah. 1507. Yeah, just more good stuff on the shot of Morgan here. I love that the negative space gets broken up right here, and we got Jaden in the background. I mean, the only thing that could make this better is if we had something like right there to break up the monotony of the back. 1543. Excellent job on these shots in general. Great shot of Morgan is already there. And then this is a wonderful shot right here. I like this a lot. We have contrast. And she's, we're right up close. That's what we want with a lot of the floating camera stuff. All right, let's move on to section C here. And 212. Great shot of Morgan here. Love it. I think I used it. Yep, right here. Great shot. This is the exact kind of shot we want especially with our floating cameras. We have a tiny bit of negative space, but that it doesn't feel that way because there's just not a ton of it. We got the drums in the background. There's a contrast in color over here, and I understand you don't have any control over the color of the contrast in the back, but you do have control over where you shoot. But this is great. Nice and close. It's a medium close shot. We got Jeremiah in the background. Excellent. Camera 3 also. Great job capturing Jeremiah here. We got a nice wall there. We got breaking up the back. We got, in this frame in particular, Josh looks very bored in the back. He's not. That said, great shot there. 224. All right. So we talked about this a little bit last week, and this is a really empty shot of Josh. And what would have been great is if we could have just shot him from the other side and like gotten him over here and then more of a straight on shot so he fills the frame more. And even right here with the looking distance with a little bit more zoom in, and this would be another case where we could shoot from underneath or shoot from a little bit lower so we get an upward angle and get a little bit more. Don't be afraid to try new things. And yeah, don't be afraid to try new angles. Go for it. Just make sure that when you are going to do that nobody else is doing that. So, and we should always be looking up to see if somebody else is moving. And you guys did a great job of that this week. I don't remember any multiple cameras moving at the same time, because that's what we want. Is we want one camera moving at one time at a time. So that way, when one's moving, there are at least 3 other shots we can use. 301. Okay. going on here? 301. What do we got? All right. So one thing that would have been, so we have kind of this negative space issue again because they're not, and I want these maybe to be a little bit more straight on, so they're filling more of the frame. So you can see camera 1 and camera 4. If whoever was on camera 4 was shooting Jaden right now, that would have been able to have him fill the frame a little bit more, and have Josh being shot by camera 1, so he fills the frame a little bit more. This shot is a little bit better of Josh as far as filling the frame goes, and the haircut, maybe a little bit less of a haircut on him. And again, shooting from underneath. That horse is real dead right now. All right. 317. Yeah, we already talked about that. 354. Yeah. Camera 4, excellent job at catching Josh doing the riffs, and those are the things we need to be paying attention to, and that's why we kind of want to sit in during rehearsal so we can see who's doing what, and if we know that something's coming up, we can get that shot at that moment. Get there a little bit early so we already have the shot locked in, and then just getting what we want there. 414. All right, yes, I used this shot. I love this shot. This is a great close-up shot. This is exactly what we're looking for when it comes to instrumental shots. Nice and close. And yeah, just watching him getting real close. We know that there's a guitar being playing, and it's nice close. It's a wonderful break from the other like face shots. Not that we don't want face shots. We want primarily face shots, but getting the instrumental shots definitely helps break everything up, and that's a great one. So excellent job, everybody. That's all I have. I don't think there was anything else that I had notes on for any of the sermon. No, I mean, other than that, other than all the things that I just said, great job, everybody. You're doing great. We can't do this without you, and we love having you. So again, don't take any of this as meant to be hurtful. It's all meant to be an encouragement, and so we can all get better together, and we can create something that helps the kingdom of God move forward. So never be discouraged by anything that I say about any of these cameras. I think that you're all wonderful, and the only thing that's better than seeing you guys grow is hanging out with you on Tuesday nights. So yeah, thanks for hanging out with us, and I couldn't be more honored to work with you guys. See ya.